Yes. This is Earl Spin Jr. You're watching True School Sports. All right.
Know nothing about none of this shit. I got to call them up. What's that?
Who was your hardest opponent?
What? Amateur. Took the question right out of my mouth. Professional. The white Muhammad Qwai.
Right. Why you didn't do one?
Because at 12 professional fights, at my 12th professional fight, I had to go in there with somebody that, you know, I had seen him myself, seen him beat the daylights out of all these people on TV. Seen him, I was my seventh professional fight, and I had fought this guy in Atlantic City. And when I got the ring, I seen him, so I was happy that somebody like that came to see me. But I'm like, you know, didn't think that they were trying to plot a fight between us because, you know, I'm just naive. Like this is, I'm like, you know what? You know, fighters come and see fighters and stuff like this.
Just you scouting you.
Yeah, but I didn't know about scouting. You know, my whole thing is that I realized that he was superior. It ain't my time. We ain't gonna fight, you know. I ain't thinking we gonna fight now. I'm like, you know, I wasn't thinking that we may fight somewhere down the line, way down the line. Not in. This is my seventh fight. I'm just ain't did nothing. I'm just a fighter.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my right, we got my pops, Nelson. He's in the building. How you feeling, pops? You good?
Real good, real good. Talking boxing, I always feel good when we talk boxing.
Talking boxing. Okay, now, we just watched a very great fight, a classic in boxing. God. One of the, you know, Ring Magazine named it one of the top 50 greatest fights of all time.
Okay.
We just watched Evander Holyfield versus Dwight Qwai.
Wow.
Great fight. Now, I've heard a lot about this fight because, as you know, and as many of you out there may know if you've been following for any amount of time, I've done a lot of interviews with Evander Holyfield, and I've heard him talk about this fight time and time again about Dwight Qwai. And he said it's the hardest fight of his career, and he goes on and on and on about it. But I never actually watched the fight for myself, so I never quite understood why the hell is he talking about this guy when he fought Bo, when he fought Lennox, and he fought all these guys.
But now you understand why.
And now I really understand why, because this was just non-stop action.
Wow.
A 15-round barn burner classic. First of all, what did you make of the fight that again Dwight Qwai versus Holyfield?
I thought it was a great fight. A lot of action from the start of the bell to the end. It's a fight where the fighter is constantly coming forward. It's always action, non-stop action. It kind of reminded me of a lightweights, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? The lightweights do that a lot. So I kind of felt that was like that. What you've been feeling about it, because it was a great fight from both fighters, to be honest with you. Let me tell you something. Having a fighter like
Dwight Qwai.
him coming to fighting Holyfield, constantly coming forward, and never let you get a chance to breathe. I mean, it shows why it was a tough fight, and it shows, and it kind of reminded Holyfield for the rest of his life about that fight really was the true test of him being a fighter.
Absolutely.
And you got to give it to both fighters, like I said. But I thought it was a great fight. I thought it was good for Holyfield, and it kind of reminded me of Muhammad Qwai. Reminded me of Joe Frazier, the way he's coming forward, the way he just kept going forward, bullying, going forward, and hit him short, small, same stature. So it was a flashback of both, of Holyfield back then to what he did now, and his career is over, and also Joe Frazier, the style that he had, more or less. So it was a great fight for me.
Absolutely. This was Evander Holyfield's 12th professional fight.
Wow.
I mean, so like, what a way, you know, to kind of.
And this guy had 33 fights coming in.
Qwai had a ton of fights. Qwai had not 33 fights. He had 29 fights. He was a 29-fight veteran. He had been light heavyweight champion. He had knocked out the likes of Matthew Saad Muhammad twice. So this guy was no joke. This guy meant business.
And you could tell. If you go see the fight, you could tell he's coming forward, constantly coming forward, attacking. Like a straight bull coming at you.
Yes. It is also worth noting, Holyfield's mentioned this on numerous occasions, not just in my interviews about this fight, but a lot of other interviews.
Right.
He actually lost 15 pounds during this fight while it happened.
So crazy. But if you look at the fight and you see how he's Qwai's fight coming at him constantly, you really don't get a chance to really even move around.
I mean, the guy really had time
to like kind of smothering you constantly. Yeah.
He smothered you, and it wasn't until about, I would say, because the first 5-6 rounds, Qwai was just, he was chopping that body, he was going there constantly, he was pressing the action.
Yep.
And then Holyfield would be kind of close to him, and he couldn't find the right spacing on his shots. He couldn't find the right spacing on his shots. And it wasn't until, I would say, like the 7th or the 8th round.
Ninth round. When I seen the change, when I seen the tides turn, and finally Holyfield got a chance to figure him out, or when to throw the punches and everything. I would have thought with Holyfield being a little bit taller, that he could use it to his advantage. But it's very, very impossible when you got an inside boxer constantly on you that doesn't want to let go.
Well, it's not even just that. Qawi, it's one thing to apply pressure and move in a straight line, but the way he does it, like, he'll jab his way on the inside. You know, you saw it, even though he wasn't like the fastest guy, the most like fleetest of foot, he was able to slip punches he was able to slip punches and make Holyfield miss. And that kind of, if you're Holyfield, you don't want to miss, because if you miss and he catches you, you're gonna really feel it.
And with him, with Qwai, you couldn't keep him in. You had to keep him in the middle of the ring. If he got you in them ropes, it's over. I mean, like I said, it was a great fight, and take nothing away from him, and I'm happy for Holyfield.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was a very, very big win for his career. He would later go on in the second fight to knock him out in the rematch in the 4th round. But he constantly talks about this as his toughest fight.
And now we understand why.
Now we really understand why. And it's funny because I'm a Holyfield fan, but I've watched so many of his fights. Like, I've watched the Bo fights, I've watched the Lewis fights, I've watched like even fights that nobody talks about, like
you name it,
Ricky Parkey, when he fought Presley Kendo. But for whatever reason, I just never got around to watching this fight. Even though he's talking so much about it. But now I truly understand.
He probably got like a welcoming party in that fight, because I mean, the guy was coming at him all the time. He didn't stop. I mean, what do you do when somebody's coming at you like that? You know. And,
I mean, eventually like he was able to find space on his shots, and you know, like he'd be using his elbows, and he would be using his shoulders, and then you know he got into a nice little rhythm, and then he would lure him into these right hands, and he'd walk right into him. And then it was funny because I told you in the latter rounds he started throwing these 7 to 8 punch barrage of combinations, and I told you, I said, Dad, he looks like a cruiserweight Sugar Ray Leonard right now with the way he's letting these punches go, and a lot of people don't remember like they remember the big Holyfield, the heavyweight, but they don't remember him as a cruiserweight.
Right, when he first started coming out to get a test in the water, so to speak, and he got tested and he came through, and it was a true test for him. So I mean, it made him be a champion, and it made him realize that you can't, you know, underestimate any opponent. And my son was saying it was only Holyfield's 12th fight. To get in a fight like that in your 12th fight, nowadays you don't even see that for some of these fighters. They have to fight 50 bums before they fight. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they fight 50 bums before they fight a true contender.
I mean, let's look at it like this. Like, obviously this guy wasn't a bronze medalist or anything like that, but a guy that I know you're a big fan of, like Teofimo Lopez, for example, right?
Right.
I think he's about 12-0, 13-0 right now.
Right.
And when he was at this stage, Teofimo Lopez is right now. This guy fought a guy who was an experienced world champion who had he wasn't just a faded world champion. This guy had a lot left in the tank. He had a lot to give.
And if I was a betting man, I wouldn't have bet on Holyfield, only because it's his big true test and coming out of the amateurs and fighting this guy, but he has more experience and a champion.
And the guy knocked out Matthew Salhamed twice.
You name it. So he's got power, short guy with a lot of power, and so I wouldn't think that Holyfield would have won, but yeah, it happened. And it's a great fight, and like I told my son, next time you see Holyfield in the gym, now you can tell him about the fight. You can have a little laugh about it and a little chuckle about it.
Absolutely. So it is also worth noting, I don't know if you know this, but are you familiar at all with the 1984 U.S. Olympic boxing team? Like, who was on that team?
Didn't you tell me?
It's widely regarded as the best
Purnell,
a U.S. team, maybe the best Olympic boxing team of all time. Yeah, Purnell's on that team.
Yeah. Wasn't Holyfield?
Holyfield's on that team.
Wasn't it? Bo was on that team too.
Bo was not. No, Bo was 80. Bo was 88.
Bo and who else was on there?
I'll give you the names. I'll give you the names. So the guys that are on that team were Pernell Whitaker, Paul Gonzalez, Steve McCroy, Jerry Page, Meldrick Taylor, Mark Breland, Frank Tate, Henry Tillman, Tyrell Biggs, Holyfield,
Yeah.
and that was it. Those were the guys that
Right.
medaled. And that's why we regard it as the best Olympic boxing team of all time. You know, you had that team.
Right.
You have the 2012 Ukrainian Olympic team, Lomachenko, those guys who
Yeah.
are making a run.
Those
But
guys.
Holyfield, when he won this fight against Qwai, he was
just-
actually the first fighter from that team that
Won
won a
his
world
belt.
title in
On a fight.
that had won a world title in the pros.
Wow.
So
Well, that's good right there.
that's no small accomplishment there.
Oh.
But overall, it was a good fight. I thought it was a close fight. It could have went really either way. I think
Yeah.
Holyfield caught his win in the second part of the fight.
And the guy being shorter than he was, getting a lot of low blows also. So
Yeah, he was low blowing him,
Yeah,
and
so it
they
cost
took a
him the
point.
fight,
It
yeah.
cost the fight. They
Yeah.
took a point away from him. But there was one really bad scorecard. Like
Yeah.
the one judge had like 144 to 141 for Holyfield. Another one had like 140. Like it was close. Like
crazy, yeah.
It was like close going each way. And then the last one was absolutely atrocious. It was 147 to 138 in favor of
So you
Holyfield.
might-
A wide ass scorecard.
So you could basically say the judges back then is the same.
Even back then, it's been part of the sport.
So it never changes.
It's never changed. You know.
It stays.
Ain't
like
nothing
that.
changed for the change.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
it. So
Dollar signs, baby, dollar signs. But yeah, so this was a great fight, and I think we should do this more often. These talk about
I think
back
so.
in the days, certain fights that we see heavyweights have fought, but nobody knows about them because nobody's heard of
we
them.
don't talk as much about them.
Yeah.
I think I'll even take it a step further with this fight. I think if Holyfield doesn't have this fight with Qwai in the second fight, there's no way in hell, in my opinion, that he's able to handle the first Riddick Bowe fight.
Wow.
Because if we have to watch the first Riddick Bowe
Right.
fight, but in the 10th round, I mean, the shots that this man was getting hit with against Riddick Bowe in that 10th round,
And he took it.
and he took it. He's not taking them shots if he doesn't have this fight against Qwai.
I got you.
Where he loses 15 pounds and he's getting staggered 3 or 4 times during the fight.
So he basically got an appetizer from Qwai and got the full meal with
Bowe, and it was an education in the
Yeah.
top level of
So
boxing.
you have to be
Holyfield.
tested, like you got a battle tested with Qwai, Holyfield, before he could fight Riddick Bowe. I mean, you know, Riddick Bowe was a beast himself, so you know it was going to be an easy fight. And I have to agree with him. If he didn't test the waters and get a little taste of what it is to fight a true heavyweight or a heavyweight with that power, he wouldn't know how to adapt to a Bowe.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dwight Muhammad Qwai, Evander Holyfield, a classic fight, probably might be the best cruiserweight fight of all time. That's our take on it.
Right.
You guys can let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you guys want to see us do more of this, drop some fights, some older fights that you want to see us talk about, and we will get to it.
And we'll talk about it
in a timely manner. So, any final thoughts?
Yeah, thank you for watching True School Sports. And now, instead of having classic knockouts, you have TSS Classic show.
There you go. Let's
God
go,
bless.
champ.
Yeah,
All right.
let's
So
go.
as I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just
Just
kidding.
kidding.
So until next time, take your ass.